Welcome. This is Grammy Queen, and if you're joining us for the first time, this is the channel where we get excited about love and excited about words and numbers too, numerology to be precise. Of course, we are exploring words and numbers in order to help us understand our relationship with the word or with the story of Christ's sacrifice for saving us. And so we are looking at Genesis of chapter 1 again. We have looked at the story of Adam and Eve. We have looked at stories of Abraham and Sarah. We have looked at, of course, the story of Christ himself and see that they seem to be a very common factor, that they all have the number 5, very symbolical in their own story, which lends the belief that Eve had been in the creation or the formation of creation before the story that we actually learn about with Adam and Eve. So it's like saying Mother of Mothers had existed before Eve actually named his wife Eve. So naming someone is, of course, is giving their character, and we know that from the story of Adam, it's like he named every creature because of its character. He knew about character. This is the insight to the story we are getting. So he knew about the character of each creature and he would name it accordingly. It is also lending the idea that he knew of Eve when it was said that he named her Eve because Eve was the mother of all living. Now, that I think is really significant, and we have not seemed to pay much attention to that for whatever reason that has been. But I believe a statement as such, perhaps need not have any more clarification around it, because she is the mother of all living. That tells it all. But it's just that it had not been taken in consideration or acted on as part of the story. That means that we are led to understand only part of this, that Adam actually is the one that we perhaps should attribute our sense of existence. He was so loving and caring, and he didn't mind, and God had put him to sleep to take out a rib, that and hence we have come to being. Now, an image has just come to mind. A rib is something that is actually curved, and it's actually hard. It's bone, bone, and that's 5, 5, 6, 2. But already I'm seeing this is this is the B here that concerns me as well. So 5 and 5, 10 and 6, 16 and 2, 18. 1 and 8. So we see bone is 1 to 8. And that would mean like it's really everything that we consist till we both that newness. We come to the end of a newness. The end is the beginning of a new cycle. Hence, the word beginning equals 9, and the number 5 actually states ending. Or end or ended, but it also means it's open. It also means that it's the key. It also equals all of those things. So basically 5 is really key in perhaps it's really the key we are looking for. So we have been taught, in fact, to perhaps not pay much attention to Eve because of her action for eating the apple. Apple also equals I really want to remember that apple equals 13. 13 or 5. Let's do apple again till I get it right in my mind. I think it's 13, so it's 5. 5, 3, 7, 7, and 1. So I can't like this 10 and 7, 17, 18, 19, 20. So apple is 23, so it's 5. Okay, so this is the wisdom that had been, it's the story has gone on in a way that really does not want us to pay much attention to Eve's character or her contribution or attribution in our makeup, apart from an evil perspective of that story. And I am believing that no, we ought to be really looking at this story in a different light, look at the pen from a different angle, and really draw on the essence of it. So if Eve is the mother of all living, it means all of what life constitutes. Hence, Christ said, I have come that you may have life. Life is also 5. Life equals 5. And there was the wine at the Last Supper, and he said, every time you partake of this, remember me. Remember me. Me is 9, so that is beginning. Remember beginning, he's saying there. And so there was end and beginning, but there is the middle point of the 1 to 9 where 5 comes into play. So the wine in itself, which is the waters, because wine is 6. Wine is 6. And yes, WINE. 5 and 5 and 9 and 5. So 3 5s are 15 and 24. Yes. So wine is 6. And we learned that we are 6. We are 6. That means everything that was from creation. I've covered that. But it's the waters. So wine, of course, is made of waters. It's the water. And we see as well, we have done the numerical value on breast, that which feeds, that which nurtures, is really that feminine aspect. So we see 3 had played out in waters, it had played out in woman, and I have seen it played out in him as well. Of course, HIM, which sounds, there's the gift of the spirit of sound, because a hymn is really it really has this kind of flowy, the M bit in it, HYME I am talking about. But of course the words, sometimes we know of this, that's why the Bible asks us to seek wisdom, because there is the tendency that words are played with as well, HYME or HIME. So we are seeking wisdom in what we are doing. That's why I like to call out intuition, waters, like the waters, number 5, and revelation when I'm doing the presentation. So we become transparent in what we are doing. So we have seen those things have happened, have come into play, and have come into being to show that the waters, and God divided the waters from the waters. That meant there's waters up and waters below, and that also gives the indication that of course everything is wholes. So waters is 5, as I was saying, this 5. And we looked at the word moved, and we have looked at the word key, we have looked at the word lock. We have looked at the word chamber, because that's another word that Christ was talking about before the crucifixion. And of course, there was a specific thing where he said it's in Luke of chapter 22, to find the man with the pitcher of water. Now, I hadn't done the PITCHER I think I did that once, but let's do it again with the picture of water. But there he was calling. That's what I'm saying, that Christ was seemed to have been expressing a lot of trying to say to us, let, you guys need to pay attention to that feminine aspect of life, of your beingness. So, okay, so this is 14, and 8 is 22, and 22 and 5 is 27, and 28, 29, 36, 36 and 7 is 40, 43. 43. Okay, 43 is 7. So that was the picture of water. So 7 and water. Oh, I think it's water, not waters. Picture of water. Yeah. So water would be 4. So 4 and 7 would be 11. So that would go coincide with Jesus then. The word picture of water. But then he referred to himself as master. Master is 22. So we see that 11, of course, 11, if we say 22, that would be 33. And this is where I'm saying Christ was recognizing that aspect of himself, or that aspect of us, because this equals to Genesis. This equals to Genesis, Genesis, and it also equals to believe, which Christ had been, Believe. When we do the numerical value for this also equal 33. So we are seeing here 3 and 3, of course, is 6, and this is what Christ had been. I'm getting the impression that Christ was really about, especially when he said, I am a worm, because that was one of the oddest, it still is one of the oddest texts in the scriptures, where Christ would make a reference to something like, I am a worm, no man, but I'm despised by everyone, or all the people as well is 33. So it's like calling out these vibrations, just like I am doing now in calling out revelation, calling out waters. It's calling out those names, those words. So I've got darkness here, and that was what I was looking at, those words here. Again, we see in the story of Christ when he called out the 33, like saying, or used to say, believe. We see it's a face. We believe something on the face value of it, or we look at something, or we hear something, we believe or not, but that's faith. And that's face. When God looked upon the face of the waters, or the deep, or there was darkness on the face of the waters. That's the thing. There was darkness. So we see darkness is here. The Spirit of God, Spirit, Spirit. Here we are. Now I like those eyes here, because spirit moves. It moves because it's got eyes in it. That's the thing. I should call it that. Spirit moves because it's got eyes. I'm going to do that actually. Yeah, so 299971. So this is 11, or 3 nines 27. Let's do it like that. 4 nines 36, and 1 37. So this is the 37. This is what we learn is the very perfect number, 3 and 7. That is spirit, and so the Spirit of God moved. 3 of 7, we could say 3, 7, and that was 10, moved. So it's like a stick. You could say moved upon the face of but moved equals 5. So 1 moved. The word move that equals 5 had to find something like itself on which to attach itself to, and that was the word waters, Waters. This is 1951. 5215. We see how the 9 and 1 is reflective in the spirit here. There is 1 and 9. It means that it consists of everything, that spirit. There is a connection. This is what Emmett Fox says. Nothing can come into your consciousness unless it finds something like itself on which to attach itself to. So spirit had found something in the waters, 9 and 1. In fact, there's 1, 9 on which to attach itself to, and that's what happened. And of course, it's like the numerical value of 1 and 9 right here, of S, S as well, and R in the middle. So I think that's quite delicious, really. So we see that, of course, the waters equals, I've done it here, equals 5. Moved equals 5. 5 and 5, so we could say the moved and waters moved, that would be 10. But I'm saying that 5 that existed, it doesn't say that God called waters into being. No, waters already had existed, and God separated the waters from the waters. So there we are. I am saying that Eve signifies waters, or waters signify Eve, Eve, mother of all living, because in our world, nothing lives without water, as far as we learn. Although I had seen some documentary somewhere, I think it was about light. Yeah, but everything depends on water. We are a world of water, and we are of water. So here I am saying spirit and matter. Matter, in fact, this is really interesting. I've just said matter. So because we had been playing with the M, so matter, matter, actually is still consists of water, because we turn this upside down, this M, and it's T. Of course we drop a, but it's the same thing, matter, water. We see that. It's interesting to get the numerical value for that. This is 229515. So this is 10, 9 and 5, 14, and 4, 18, and 1, 19, and 5, 20. No, this last one would be 4. 19, 23. So matter is 23. I want to do this again. I'm just looking at the time. So 23 would be 5. That's why I'm wanting to do it again. matter. So 95221 This is it. So 5 and 5, 10, and 9, 19, 19, 21, and 2, 23. So matter is 23. So these are the things that I feel has been so profound in our makeup. Water, matter, and all those things are so profound in our makeup. Why are we not trying to acknowledge their existence in our, as Eve, in our existence, or in our, because that was the things that really, the dust of the earth, the water, and all of those things, of course. I believe Eve is what was water. And of course, it takes the two elements of the it that comes. There was emotion, there was motion. Those are words as well that actually consist of the number 5. Motion is 5. Emotion, I'm not quite clear or remembering what it is, but these are unmoved, this action, these active words. So I hope you have found this interesting, and continuing to do presentations that we can hopefully find the pieces that really can help us, propel us into becoming better expressions and versions of who we truly are. This is delicious. I am hoping that you are enjoying and indulging in this delicious journey to actualizing self-love. Okay, so if you like this presentation, click the like button and share. And of course, subscribe, leave your comments because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self-love. In the meantime, stay blessed, stay bright, be a field because we are planting new seeds. Namaste and spill over with love.